Hi there, this is Martin Popoff, scribbler of 85 heavy metal books and host of History in 5 Songs with Martin Popoff podcast. When I need to get my Kiss fix, I listen to Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. Listen to us both on the Pantheon Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcasts. Check them out.
Oh boy, here we go. Down, Kiss. I'm pressing the button. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Paul Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. My name is Ace Frehley. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh no, here come the Kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. Alright. I'm gonna grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why? Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them. Talking about 617-525-0850. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Episode 274. Kids are people too.
Are they, though?
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, this is one of our classic TV clips that we love to come around to. It's been a while since we got to one, and this is a big one. This is a big one.
Oh, it's a big one, all right.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, last week we had the great Robert V. Conti on, and we went back and talked about the remastered CDs of the 90s and had some fun with him. And I think we did a poll, too.
Yep. Yeah, Robert was awesome, and I love these kinds of guests, these kinds of episodes, because you can really tell, like, it's like a moth to a flame that the Kiss nerds come out, and they just love this kind of these conversations. And we did, too, so we're happy that everybody had a good time with it. So, yeah, the poll was, talking about the remasters. Which of these deserves an official CD remaster? So it was Hot in the Shade, Revenge, Alive 3, Carnival of Souls. Hot in the Shade kind of ran away with this one, 47%, because I think people like that album, or like us love that album, but it does sound like shit for the most part. Revenge at 32, Alive 3 at 13, Carnival of Souls at 7. Yeah, I don't want anything to happen to Carnival of Souls. I love that. I mean, if he's going to do a remaster and put notes in it, fine. Heaven's on Fire hits for sure, Hot in the Shade. If I was running things, I'd have Eddie Kramer remix it too. Great interview, guys. We had a couple people mention that Alive 3 technically may have gotten a remaster when they did that Alive box set. But yeah, we're kind of talking about like a standalone thing with the notes from Robert, etc.
Yeah, someone had mentioned that too about Hot in the Shade. Oh, if you bought it on iTunes library, it's actually something like that.
It's got a remixed or remastered type of audio. Yeah.
We're going by the regular physical copy being sold.
Yeah. Hooked on Sonic's podcast. We love those guys. A surprisingly hard poll. At the time of the remasters, the only one that could have used a remaster was Hot in the Shade. But now, almost 30 years later, I would say almost all of them, with the exception of Alive 3, that to me still has a phenomenal sound. I agree. I love Alive 3. Psycho Hurricane. They all deserve a remaster because they're all great albums. I went for Hot in the Shade mostly because we all know that Revenge will get a big box set treatment. Oh, I don't know about that. Fingers crossed, brother. I hope that ever happens, but I doubt it. And then Toby decides to chime in and just say, none of these need to be remastered. Okay. That's your opinion. I don't like it, but that's all right. And some episode-specific comments. The great Tom Dust. We love Tom, and we love his intro music. Great interview. This comic has been with me since I was 10 years old. Yeah, Rob Conti, or I should say his Twitter handle is Rockin' Rob Conti. And Tom Dust posts a picture of the CD remasters and the comic book that Robert talked about during the interview. Our buddy Brad Baird, Robert, done a great job on the remastering. And listening to some of his other interviews, it broke my heart to hear how the originals at the warehouse were being treated, not just for Kiss, but the other artists. Yeah, some of Robert's comments, I think Zeus said it. Robert was very honest, and that's what we love on the show. So Great stuff. People loved Robert, as did we. So that's what we got for Twitter this week.
Over on the Book of Face, Tom, Keith Rochford, hell yeah. I got his teaser pack when VV was coming out of isolation, and I'd been waiting to hear more about his book. What a streak of guests this year. Sam Paxton, who had emailed us the week before asking us to get Robert on our show. I literally said, holy shit, out loud when I opened up my Spotify feed at 11:15 last night. So you must be on Central Time. Anyway, Anthony Hunt, not related to Mike Hunt. Great interview, guys. Good to hear from a firsthand perspective the machinations of the record label and how far removed Gene and Paul were from these early reissues. And now I have to go back and listen to the difference in the hits CD and album. Cheers from Australia.
Nice.
Thomas Warhol, great interview. I love his laugh. He seems like a great guy, and I can't wait till the next time he's on. And then he posted this image of his Batman album, which he has, that I think this is Robert's thing that he was talking to you nerds, you people about, with the talk about Neil Adams with Robert. I checked to see if Neil Adams illustrated the Batman book and record I have. Unfortunately, he wasn't, but still lots of great listening memories.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Chris Hall, very, very cool. Never knew. Thanks for putting RVC in the spotlight this week. Well,
awesome.
That's why we're here, guys. That's why we're here. Over on Loudcaster's page, John Whiteman, another great interview. I love it that no matter how impressive the pedigree of Kiss expert, they always have a story about getting mauled by Kiss tards over some minute detail that was omitted or technically incorrect. I also keep picturing Ray Romano speaking when I hear Robert's voice. I'm assuming it was the Long Island accent. No, as I replied to him, we didn't have Joey Romanek on with us. Bruce Foudy. Absolutely love this interview. I loved his honesty about the remasters, and you wanted the best. I remember being so excited about each set of releases. I thought the essays were a great synopsis of what was going on with the band at each point of release. Robert really is one of us. You guys show us every week how the big boys do it. Thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
Josh Brown, great interview as always, guys. I'm glad we finally have the answers why we never got a Hits or Revenge remaster. I'm like Tom. It's a damn shame we didn't get that expanded Revenge. I wonder what's in the vault that we don't know exists, other than the rap version of Paralyzed that Bruce played on the show. That's a nice callback, right?
Yeah, that's true. Love that.
Thanos Akratides, the Greek thunder from down under.
Yeah, Frozen Tears.
This was a great show, guys. Just when you think you are one of the geekiest Kiss nerds, you find people that are crazier than you are. Robert was absolutely fantastic with his knowledge and his crazy stories, especially the one with You Wanted the Best. I always thought if the right people in Universal took the Kiss catalog seriously, we would have had far better product than we have received. I can't believe that a band who have released more than 20 studio albums don't have unreleased gems in the can for us to listen to after 50 years. Let's hope that one day soon we get a surprise. No doubt with people like Robert in tow, this would have already happened. Rock on, boys, from down under.
That's a great point. I wish, I think we all do after hearing that interview, that Robert was still kind of wired in with the band. But alas, we'll see what Pop House is up to now, if they have any control over anything moving forward.
And finally, Tom, I'll go over to YouTube. The great Chris Flood. You guys are kings of the interview. You amaze me again.
Don't do it.
Beep of the wooden nickel and beep. 2 homers and a guy who irons his jeans and uses a 1950 hairdryer can't even compete.
Oh boy.
Chris, you are fucking funny.
Thanks, Chris.
You're true, but you're funny. Yeah. Tom, that's what I got, buddy.
All right, let's bang through a few emails here. We got one from Daniel LeBlanc.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tom and Zeus, I have never checked out the reissue CDs with the notes provided by Robert, so I will be checking those out. And thanks, Tom, for mentioning his work on the House of Terror reissue. I was a big fan of Halloween records growing up and somehow missed this one. Keep up the good work. Looking forward to what's in store next Saturday. And we got one from Music Vampire. I'm sure someone has told you this, but I have yet to hear you guys mention this. I'm sorry if you have. I'm a CD guy and have bought all the remastered CDs. Listening to Hot in the Shade has always been frustrating. Sometime in the last 10 years, I discovered that Hot in the Shade was mastered for iTunes. Yeah. Along with Smashes, Thrashes, and Killers with the 2 extra Japanese tracks. I still buy CDs, and I burn them if I buy any songs from iTunes. I don't stream. I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android. Nerd! But like Zeus, I ripped my CDs and put it on my phone. Anyway, I purchased and burned Hot in the Shade and burned it to a CD. It sounds fantastic. Wow. I'm not an audio expert, but that iTunes version sounds like any other remastered CD. It's pretty awesome. And then he goes on to say how much he enjoyed the Robert interview. Good stuff. I have to check that out. That's actually kind of cool. Thank you for sharing that. Mike H., I will tell you once again how much I love these guests who share the unique insider perspective behind the curtain of KISS. Thank you so much for scratching that itch for me. Side note, I was thinking about the redoing of the vocals on You Wanted the Best, and it is interesting to me that when we are first exposed to odd decisions the band makes, they started as bewildering and what the fuck moments. What were they thinking? And as time goes by, it evolves into a typical thing that KISS does and gets added to every other head-scratching decision. Paul and Gene retrospectively blame others for these decisions, but they're the last line of defense all the time, aren't they? If it's a bad idea now, then just admit you were fine with it then. Oh, God, you are singing my song, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you. And we will finish up our feedback from an email from our good friend that we were lucky and happy enough to hang out with and meet in New York City, the great author James Campion, who has written one of the all-time great KISS books, Shout It Out Loud, The Making of Destroyer, and has an incredible book about Prince coming out soon. So follow him on Twitter if you're not doing that already. And he sends us an email. Fantastic chat, fellas. Congrats. Please reach out to Robert for me. If he doesn't have my book, or even if he does and he wants a signed copy, it would be my pleasure. I truly enjoyed that discussion. It was right up my alley. JC. Well, JC, that means a ton from someone like you. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate your friendship and your support. So thank you, James. You are the comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Amongst his highlights of writing Beatles books and Destroyer and knowing and meeting all these famous people, he's now going to hang on comment of the week in his career.
If he doesn't put that on his curriculum vitae the next time he is, kind of promoting himself for employment, it says here, Mr. Campion, that you received a comment of the week. Could you talk about that, please?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I'd rather not. I forgot to delete that.
Yeah, right between the podcast talking about Ace, shitting in his pants in his spacesuit. I was comment of the week.
That story about the fried banana sandwiches or peanut butter.
Fried peanut butter banana sandwiches at Graceland with Elvis. Hey, King. Oh, shit. What the hell did you put in this?
Wait, what'd you say? Hey, who?
King. They were throwing fucking marbles at him and shit. Yes, James is awesome. I just got to say, he's been very helpful behind the scenes, helping us with our book. Yes, that's coming soon. Believe it or not. Raise your glasses.
We're approaching the finish line, brothers.
Yes, we have a couple deadlines we met, and we're really excited. It's fucking looking great. Great.
It's going to be amazing. Believe me, this book is no magic. I can tell you that right now.
In spite of Joey Casada's contributions, this book is going to be fucking unreal.
It is.
I know Joey Casada.
It's the kind of book that we wish that we wrote. We wanted to read.
So we did. We made a KISS podcast that we wanted to hear, and now we're writing a book that we wanted to read. So
for you, the fans.
The fans.
Sure.
Whatever you say, girly.
Have you read my book, Bunch of Regrets?
Ace, it's called No Regrets.
I regret selling my makeup. Oh, shit. I guess I did sell it. Pop-Pulse ain't paying me shit. Fuck, yeah. Oh, well. Tom, let's move over and give our thanks to the great Patreon family of Shout It Out Loudcast. We got a new member, and his name is Mark Goddard, who is a new Spaceman member. I don't know if I said that correctly. It's Goddard or Goddard. I apologize, Mark, for butchering that. But Mark joins us as a spaceman, and he is now part of the Patreon family.
Yeah.
All you out there that's members of the Patreon family, thank you. Really appreciate it. Your support goes a long way of helping this show grow. And as you can see, over the past couple of years, this show has fucking grown. Yep. And your support is one of the main reasons. So if you are interested in helping the show grow, helping the show continue, please become a Patreon member. And that is a way that you can get something back too for helping us out. And what we like to do is if you contribute to us, we end up giving you some input into the show, polls, merch, the album review crew selection, which is coming up again because we just released Tom's pick, Vision Quest soundtrack with Le Champion Jericho. That just dropped today.
Yep.
And you can get many other ways to help us with the show and have input. Again, go to patreon.com, go to our website's the best place. Right on our landing page, you'll see Patreon. Click on that. Check out the 4 tiers that we have. Find one that fits your needs and help the show. It's a big, big way for us to continue to grow, and it means a lot to us. We love our Patreon family, and thank you, Mark, for joining. And please come join and join in the fun.
Mark, appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for becoming a part of the amazing family. We thank everybody there, whether you're brand new or you've been there since day one. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. And as Zeus said, we will now be putting out the poll sooner than later. Zeus has the pick for May. Yes, my episode dropped on May 1st, but that's still the April episode. Zeus will have his pick for the month of May, and Patreon will have the pick for June. So that poll will be coming out soon. So stay tuned, Patreons. And every Patreon, regardless of tier, is involved in selecting that ARC pick. So stay tuned for that. And again, Mark, thank you for joining the family, brother.
Yeah, love our Patreon members. So, Tom, what we do next is we hop on over to Kiss World. I see our buddy Paul has been putting up some happy photos of his face close up lately.
I don't understand what he's doing. I know, you know, a lot of people like it's like, oh, low hanging fruit or whatever, but he makes it so easy. What is that? What is that face? And why are you talking about a 27-mile bike ride when you're in a car? You're in the front seat of your car holding your bike. Why aren't you on your bike? Maybe he heard us making fun of him. I don't know.
The lemon lips are all in full fucking bloom. Smile, you motherfucker, smile.
My favorite thing, somebody shared that in our Loudcasters page, and they just wrote, "What a strange fellow."
Yeah, I don't know. He did put up something that you enjoyed where he was bitching about the fucking crazy riots at the university.
Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, like, you know, I'll give him credit when credit's due. If he says something I agree with, I'm going to agree with him. You know, talking about what was going, this was a week ago not a week ago, a few days ago. You know, talking about what's going on at the universities. You know, we're not going to get into politics here, but you know, if Paul is going to say something that I hate and I think is stupid, I'm going to say so. If he says something I agree with, I'm going to agree with him. I mean, I don't not like Paul Stanley.
He also just tweeted not too long ago, Tom, a really terrific new version take on our classic Young Blood. I don't know what the fuck this idiot is. Nails it. And some kid singing I Was Made for Loving You. Yeah. And it's for the Fall Guy movie, which is coming out now, so it's part of the soundtrack or something.
Yep. Young Blood is a young new whippersnapper in the pop music pantheon. I don't want to hear this.
He looks like the rapper kid from the Fresh Beat Band. What was his name? Twist or Shout? One of them.
I used to like when they were called the Jump Arounds. Remember that? And then they changed the name of the band.
Yeah, Harrison complaining because it looked like he was throwing up gang signs.
He's always pulling at his pants.
Fucking Fresh Beat Band? Okay. Well, anyways, no, I'm just going to say what I wanted to make a comment is like, how come he doesn't give those fucking kind of comments to our buddy Chris in quarantine when they do better on the charts than Kiss does?
Because you just answered your own question because they do better. That's why.
He won't give them credit, but Gene does.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah, not much. I mean, we say the same thing every week. Sorry, Gene, touring and playing. I mean, we talked about his show last week and his set list and all that stuff and how he was on American Idol. So I've already covered that. Yeah.
Bruce did a Turn on the Night solo video with his banana guitar.
Hey guys, Turn on the Night. Wow. What a song. Should have been a hit. Here's my solo.
Banana reminds me banana pancakes I had.
I knew you were going to say that. Bruce, we love you, brother. We love you and your banana pancakes and your banana guitar.
Yeah. And anyways, I think that's really about it. Not much else going on in the Kiss world.
We did get something from a listener.
What?
That we posted in Loudcasters and elicited a little bit of feedback about an Ace video from his concert. And if you're just listening to it and you really don't know what you're hearing or whatever, it does sound like there were tracks being used. It is, but that's what it sounds like. But we had people chime in. I listened to it again. A lot of people said they thought it was monitor problems, that what you thought was tracks was background vocals singing before Ace was jumping in. Either way, it was a sloppy mess. It was, I'm not saying it was tracks,
but it was them
first,
doing 10,000 volts. And here's what's happening. It's
correct.
Like.
Yeah.
His drummer is backing him the whole time.
Yes.
Which is, I don't have a problem with it. Eric should have been doing that with Paul during Kiss songs. Maybe have 3 girls on the side helping you out, sing some of it. Yep. Have a little quartet in the side, Paul, helping you out. That'll fucking be better than what you're doing now.
Agreed.
And so it seems like the guy was singing along with the thing, but Ace is so fucking slow that it was like, hey, it's not matching with what I'm hearing. But
exactly.
It's not a track. It's
the
drummer, Scotty, in the back singing, going like, what the fuck? How I can't sing this any slower, probably.
Yeah. And of course, when the person sent it to us, they're like, oh, is he using tracks? We're like, no, he's not using tracks. But again, if you listen to it, like, holy shit, listen how blatant that is. It's not, like Zeus said.
If you look at it, you can see the guy is singing. It's just, I don't think he's that stupid to do tracks after all the shit he was saying.
Exactly.
But
I agree.
I like the thought of it, but they got to match up. It's called fucking practice.
Yep.
And they don't do it. And it's not, I shouldn't say they, it's he doesn't do it, which leads to this. At some point, they're people promoters are gonna be like, dude, this, I can't, like, I'm not paying you this.
Well, that's a great point. And I was going to say that. And I know, when Ace makes the news or when anybody makes news, we're going to talk about it. So that's the thing. It's like, and then we were getting these comments that we get all the time. And I don't understand this thoughtless, brainless logic of, well, if you don't like it, don't go. Okay. But that logic doesn't make any sense because you don't know until you've already bought the ticket and you're sitting there looking at that going, what the fuck? Not everybody has the luxury of going onto YouTube and watching something before the show. They buy the tickets. They want to go see Ace. So you can't say, if you don't like it, don't go. It's too late by the time you've already heard this disaster.
The other aspect of it is like, what do you expect? Come on. He's 70 something years old. Dude, what do I expect? I expect something decent.
You're a professional charging money. Okay.
Exactly.
You are not someone's, uncle teaching, coaching T-ball who's having a tough time. You're charging people to watch you perform.
They're not bringing him out on Arlington Town Day to sing for free at the fucking local ball field.
Yeah. I can tell you right now.
Come on. He's an old guy. Give him credit. Let him do it. No, I can tell you right now, $70 for a ticket.
I was just going to say, these tickets are not like $20. They're full price tickets.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And he could do better if he worked on it. He doesn't want to.
course. But you're right. But just to kind of circle back to your original point, the promoters and the people, I mean, you're going to tell me that those fans are leaving. I mean, I'm sure they don't care. They're seeing Ace. They don't give a shit. It's the Ace cult. But people have to be like, what? What did I just pay, $100 for? That was a mess.
Yeah.
A mess.
Yeah.
But anyways.
All right.
That's Ace in the news.
Yeah. So let's take a quick little break and we'll be right back. Hey, what the fuck was I just listening to? That sounded like shit. That was you and the mic and the feedback. You just got, oh Christ. It's either work on it, practice or not. Fuck them. I ain't doing shit.
So we're back, and yeah, I mean, every time we take a break, it ends up having to be something that we got to deal with. Ace, I tried to tell Ace that we're talking about the clip from Kids Are People 2. He thought he was going to be on Kids Are People 2. I had to tell him the show's been canceled. He's not doing any appearances, Ace. It's okay. I'm a big fan of Kids, so you're right. They are people too.
I like that show, Kids Incorporated. I think I was on that too. Wasn't that another show, Kids Incorporated?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, well, Tom, we like doing these video clips.
Yep.
TV appearances by Kiss, and this is another one. This was on a show. It was like a daytime show for kids. Kids Are People Too, which was like a Sunday show, ran from like 78 to 82. I think it was ABC, right? ABC.
I think so, yep.
Yeah, and it was, made for kids. They picked it up from some New York City children's show, and it ran for a couple years. I think I remember a little bit of it. I don't remember this episode growing up. I'm always amazed at people like, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the Paul Lynde show. Yeah, I saw Kiss Meets the Fan. Like, I didn't get a chance to see all these things. If you missed it, fuck, you're shit out of luck. What are you going to do? But the episode actually aired September 21st, 1980. So Kiss used this as the introduction to Eric.
Yeah.
To the fans.
Yeah. I remember. I remember this show. I mentioned probably a few times, on the show that I have a sister that's 4 years older than me. And at this age, 1980, we were listening to music, watching TV and riding our bikes and playing fucking Atari or whatever. So I don't remember this specific episode, but I remember this show for sure. And I find it stunning watching this. We'll get into the specifics of it, but dude, you're doing a fucking appearance on a show that is like, we're talking like 9-10-year-old kids. Like, these aren't teenagers. These are kids. Oh, yikes.
Yeah. There is a lot of that cringy feeling you get when you know that somebody used to be a star and they're doing shit that you're like, oh man, like, you know what I feel like?
Like Ace?
Yeah, no. But you know what I feel like? When we went to that fucking horror convention thing that you took me to, and I saw people that used to be stars hawking themselves out for like, hey, you want a photo with me for $50? Like, oh my God. Like, I'm so embarrassed. I'll give you $50 if you just don't come back. Like, I'm embarrassed for you.
Yep. Agreed. It was cringy, but we'll get into the specifics, but God damn.
Now, what's funny is because Eric came out on like the Palladium was July 25th, 1980. So that was obviously before this. And they had already started the tour, I believe, in Europe, in August.
Well, the funny thing is that, so this episode aired in September, but it was recorded, I believe, in July. So it's kind of screwed up because it was recorded. Yes. They introduced him to the studio audience, but the world didn't see the show until the tour had already started. Right.
Yeah. So it may have been to them, but chronologically it's a little mixed up.
Right.
Because he doesn't come out until later on. At this time, the host of the show was somebody named Michael Young,
who looked like he did like toothpaste commercials. His teeth were so fucking white.
He seems like the perfectly cast.
Oh,
like calm,
safe,
kid host. His tone was such the like kindergarten, like grade school principal.
Yeah. So you're in a rock music band, Gene?
Yeah, but so Ace, what? So is this something that you like? That tone he used was just so, I don't know, it was making me cringe. He was like way too soft. Like it was just.
But he did rock that vest pretty well. He was a very handsome man.
Yeah. And I think this show in and of itself is famous for fucking the Kiss episode. Even its Wikipedia page has the image of Kiss as the image they have on there with him. And it mentions the whole interaction with Kiss being on there. How big was Kiss like just a year and a half earlier?
That's what I was thinking of.
Like 4 solo albums, right? Coming out in 78 around that time.
Yep.
In September, right? So about 2 years, I should say.
The Alive 2 tour finished up in 78. Then they released it. I mean, 2 years earlier, they were touring the world on the Alive 2 tour. Now you're telling jokes to 8-year-olds.
Do you think at some point someone's got their hands folded and looks at the other ones and be like, I fucking told you guys not to do this shit. Look where the fuck we are now.
Yeah. And another thing that was interesting, we'll get into the show kind of chronologically. When they introduce them individually. Like they come out one at a time instead of being like, here comes Kiss. And then they all like, it was like, Ace, first of all, I'm waiting for your commentary on Ace Frehley's ability to walk out onto a stage.
Just how the mighty have fallen.
That's all. That's
the first thing I think about.
If you're not a Kiss fan, you're probably like, "Oh, this is kind of interesting." But if you're like us, you're like, "This is like watching like your favorite athlete like just stumble up to the plate with a bat in his hand."
You know what this is? This is like when my dad used to brag about Dominique Wilkins playing in the Greek basketball league at the end of his career.
There you go.
And I'm like, how bad does he need money?
Yep.
That he's in the European Greek League basketball playing over there.
So you got to wonder, is this all Kiss could get? Or did Kiss just embrace this? Because everybody said this is when, Dynasty, you had the Phantom of the Park, the marketing, the big circus costume. Do you think this is all that they had available? Or did they want to do this because they knew this was their audience?
Probably a common thing for all these bands at the time. Because probably the next week, Black Sabbath's going to go, here's Ronnie James Dio instead of Ozzy on Kids Are People Too.
Hey, kids, welcome to You Can't Do That on Television on Nickelodeon. Here comes the new bass player from Metallica.
I can't wait to get into this. Anyways, let's start as we always do. We're going to play the actual video clip for you on the podcast. Sorry, YouTube, can't do it, but here it is. All right, so let's start, and we'll break this down chronologically. I got my notes. So first, Wyatt Michaels calls them by accident magicians.
I'm so glad you picked up on that.
I'm sorry, but if you're referred to as a magician, I don't know why that's funny.
Because you're thinking of Tarbash, the Egyptian magician. The Egyptian magician.
Oh my God,
dude!
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Phil Dunphy from Modern Family.
Oh, yeah.
Who's always like trying to be like he's a dork, always doing magician tricks and stuff. Like, just
magic.
I'm a magician.
What an insult. I mean, bad enough you're on Kids Are People Too. The host misquotes you as a magician.
And then you're right, Tom. He introduces them one at a time. But before he does that, he goes up to these and the whole thing just reminds me of the fucking William Shatner fucking Saturday.
My God.
Hey, he's in the crowd with a microphone. Who's a Kiss fan here? You over there with the Kiss t-shirt on. The kid's like, yeah, me. And I was waiting for him to go, have you ever kissed a girl before?
No, I'm 8.
Well, anyways, he says, who's your favorite Kiss member? The kid goes, Peter Criss.
I mean, Ace Frehley. Now, here's what I want to know. Why did he correct himself?
Probably felt like fucking something was up. But here's the funny part about this. There were 3 times Peter got brought up. Of the like 5 questions or 5 things, like Peter gets mentioned all the time. So the kid goes, Ace Frehley. And then he goes over the other kid. You, wearing a Kiss shirt. Have you been to a Kiss concert? Yeah, 3.
So the kid's like 9. What the fuck are you doing, you little shit?
Well, I wonder why you're on fucking Kids Are People Too now, Kiss.
Yeah,
when this 9-year-old's been to your show 3 times.
Yeah, and also tickets are probably like fucking $8.
And then he mentions like good monster movies, science fiction, cartoon characters, exploding lights, fireworks, vibrating sounds, the wildest show on earth. Again, this is what Kiss has evolved to. Like
that's
little
right.
Kids attraction.
He didn't mention the music barely.
No,
he said
like,
vibrating sounds. That's not music.
But if you think about the dark, beginning first 3 albums, you think about fucking the concert at Winterland and them in black and white and scary and stuff. You don't think of that wasn't towards kids.
Like, God, no.
That image and that stuff and how they began has nothing to do with kids. But you think about how they're being described now to a bunch of children.
Right, but even you don't even have to go back to the early 3 albums. Like we say, just go back 2 years when they were wrapping up the Alive 2 tour with Gene with that, spitting the blood.
Yeah, that's not for kids.
No.
Anyways, then they go to a montage where they're showing like the Unmasked tour, which is funny because it supposedly hasn't happened yet when they're filming. And there's Eric on stage. They're already showing Eric.
Yep.
And it starts with Sure Know Something, and then I Was Made for Loving You.
And I caught that too. I'm like, I get that it's of the time, but it reminded me of another example of Kiss trying to not forget about their past, but we're not going to play Love Gun and Deuce and Strutter. That band doesn't exist anymore, so we're going to play this stuff for you. So I mean, I get it because a lot of bands would probably do that. They're trying to promote what's recent or what's relative.
It's promoting their super Kiss image and
correct
fucking popish sound now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So then he introduces the band members. Ace comes out first, Paul, then Gene, and then they sit on these chairs there, and Gene goes, "Oh yeah."
and I want to be like, dude, these kids are like 9 years old. And once again, Gene. Same fucking scowl the entire time that he had at the Tom Snyder show.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Ace comes out and says, "Can everybody breathe now? Okay now?" So the first question is from the guy, Michael, to Gene about breathing fire.
Yep.
And then Gene gives like his fucking, as though it's like an after school special. It's very dangerous. We take it very serious. We don't joke around about this. Okay, Grandpa.
Now, I get what you're saying, but I will give him a little bit of kudos because he does know his audience. The audience is kids, and if they start talking about breathing fire, and kids go home and say, "Mommy, I saw Gene Simmons on TV. I want to breathe." But I did laugh. I was like, "This is a very serious thing."
Yeah, we don't laugh about it. Yeah, he's like,
settle down, serious Kiss member.
It's very dangerous. It's very serious, and we don't want anybody to copy this and get hurt. Okay,
so have a band that breathes fire on stage then.
Yeah, and then Paul gets asked, "You're the only one who doesn't use special effects. Why?" "I'm scared."
But you know what, though? I was like, God damn, this is, 45 years ago, but fucking Paul was like affable, friendly, had a smile on his face. Gene looked like he was.
Again, you already know, that's Paul now.
Exactly.
You would be like, "Oh, he's funny. This guy's pretty cool." Yep. Yeah, Paul said, like, "I do all the talking on stage and sing all the songs, so I want to keep my hair looking good."
Right. Okay. I like that. I'm like, okay, that's funny. And you can even hear the kids like chuckling in the audience.
Yeah. Then they asked Ace, what's his favorite part of the show? "I guess that part where I explode my guitar and it starts to smoke. Some of you must have seen it."
It's like Star Wars.
Yeah. Does he say something like that about Star Wars?
Yeah.
"It flies in the air, kind of like Star Wars Revisited."
Is it Ace? Is it really Star Wars Revisited?
Fucking guy is just amazing. Then they introduced the Fox, Eric Carr.
Yep.
Paul goes, yay!
Literally, yay.
It sounded like fucking Tom Warner. Let's go, Red Sox. And then the clap stops, then he makes it awkward. Let's go.
Red Sox.
Red Sox. Let's go. Fucking awkward. Yay. And then Paul says, what a cute guy. What a cute guy. And Ace says, what do you think, girls? Is he a fox or what?
The kids are like fucking 10 years old.
Hey, you fatty in the front. How old are you? 10? Is he a cute guy or what? I'll give you a chocolate bar if you say yes.
Hey, you with the Twinkie. What do you think of the Fox?
Hey, what's your name, Jelly Belly? Over there in the corner.
Hey, tons of fun with the ring ding. What do you think of the new guy?
Hey, you might want to put that chocolate bar back. You don't look like you need it, honey.
But I love it. He's like, hey, what do you think? He's a fox. Like, the fucking kids are like, huh? What does that mean?
Yeah, he asks Eric then, how does it feel to be a member of KISS? And Eric is just so lovable and it's just so genuine. He says, like, it's great. And it's like a dream come true for me. It's very positive about, I just felt from the beginning that it was going to happen for me and that it was going to be all, and it was going to be right. I wish everybody sometime in their life can have an experience like this. It would be great.
I love listening to him talk. Like you said, he sounds so genuine, so grateful, so happy.
So not only did he get such joy,
yeah,
but he's thinking how much better everybody else would be if they actually could experience this as well.
Yeah. You can't love that guy anymore. He's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Then they go to an audience question again. It sounded like somebody went, I don't know, there was like a bleep or some sort of noise made in the video. So it's kind of weird. And then he goes back to the audience. He goes, I'm telling you, it throws me off. It sounds like the fucking William Shatner. He's like, you with the KISS shirt.
Now, normally, yes, but I think it's so a lot of conflicting feelings here because it's like, this is our band and they're now like becoming like kiddie, just like a fucking, like, it's like Bozo the Clown. It's like,
just the phrasing of you over there. Have you ever you over there? You dork with the sandals and the Argyle socks. You.
But like you with the Garanimals. Get up here. What's your question? You little shit.
And he's like, what's your name? The kid goes, Gary Schwartz. And I'm like, is that young Gary Cap? Hall of Famer Gary Cap. What's your name over there? Gary Cap? Gary?
You don't know this yet, but in 40 years, I'm going to be in the Shout Out Loudcast Hall of Fame.
Wonderful. And his question was, how much you spend on the costumes? And Paul, last costumes cost us between 60 and 70,000. And then Gene chimes in. The reason is you can't go into the store and buy these. And he shows his boots. But if anybody, Paul, if anybody wants to try to buy these boots at the local store, you won't be able to do it. And then Ace is like, plus, we have to have double or triple of everything just in case anything gets damaged.
Yeah. Translation. In case I shit my pants on stage, I need an extra fucking Space Ace cape.
In case somebody pukes in my boots. And I'm like, insufficient diapers, Star Child. Sloppy Joe sliders. Not a good idea to eat right before I put on the spacesuit. Holy mudslide.
This belt is a bitch when you gotta go number 2.
Sloppy Joes. Oh shit. I get somebody zipping me in the back. What the fuck?
Jeez, I thought that was toilet paper. It's my cape. Gene, where's my backup cape?
Something around there smells like shit.
You.
That'd be me. I need a costume change.
So before we continue with audience questions, I have a few thoughts here. I truly don't believe that any of these were pre-selected. I think this was raw.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So that's the thing. Like you said, we're so jaded and so burned out as Kiss fans now. Can you, seeing them in real time take raw, unscripted audience questions is something that my brain couldn't compute, whether or not they were from 10-year-old kids or from adults. I couldn't believe it. And it gets better with each question as we'll continue.
Yeah. And then the second question, dude, this is when you can see the scowl on Gene's face.
Oh, Gene looked like he wanted to friggin' throttle everyone.
How do you feel about Peter Criss leaving the group?
Listen, you little fucker.
That's when you know they fucking were not scripted. Paul, well, we felt bad because bad to lose Peter. Why am I sounding like Ace? We felt bad to lose Peter because he was a member of the family. But we really haven't lost him. We spend a lot of time with him. He's really like family. And when you have a brother and sister, you don't lose them because they move out of the house. It's really exciting to have Eric now because it's another member of the family. We didn't forget Peter, and we spend a lot of time. And he told us to say hello. Hey, Peter, we're going on that show. Tell those little fuckers I said hello.
Yeah. Hey, fucko. Yeah, you little shit with your fucking corduroy pants. Hey, go fuck yourself.
Hey, you dork. You got any Coke on you? What?
Coca-Cola, Mr. Chris? No.
Go down the street and go meet Richie and get me fucking some Coke.
Now, but let's look here at Gene is miserable, angry, pissed off, scowling. Paul, again, what an incredible answer. Now, I don't want to sound cynical and say that he was giving these answers because they were kids asking them, but I think it was 1980, and I think Paul was in a different headspace.
It was a very safe and kind way to say that to kids. Like, oh, we still love him. He's still with us. Right. He's just a member of the family.
But
meanwhile, he's like, boot that piece of shit out of the band.
But I thought it was an interesting, really, I mean, first of all, the question, they must have been like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But I thought his answer was great. And and then Ace's follow-up.
Let's hear it for Peter Criss.
Yeah.
Gene's like looking at him like, you motherfucker.
So this is what I was going to say. So I saw online, if you listen to it, it sounds like, so Ace says, let's hear it for Peter Criss. Everybody starts applauding. Okay. It sounds like Gene is saying something like, what a guy. And then it sounds like Ace is maybe saying something almost like Gene and Ace are having like a back and forth because Ace said, let's hear it for Peter. And Gene is probably like, fuck him.
Yeah.
Like,
and you see, if you watch the video, when it shows back to the crowd, Gene is like,
yeah, golf clap. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Totally like patronizing.
They go to the next kid. I could have sworn the next kid says, he asked them his name. I could have sworn the kid said George Jefferson. I own a couple dry cleaning stores.
We might need some Zapruder film analysis here to see what this kid says.
I could have sworn he said his name was George Jefferson. And then he asked, like, how did you start the group? And here comes Gene. Initially it was Paul and I in a different band. We got ourselves a loft down on 23rd Street, New York City. Dude, what are you talking to kids? We got ourselves a loft in 23rd Street.
Talking to 8-year-olds out in California. Like, the kid doesn't know anything past his bedroom.
And then Ace comes in, and that was 7 years ago. Paul says, we always want to do something special. We always wanted to be more than just another rock band. And then the host asks, whose idea was that? And Paul starts answering, and Ace talks over him.
I love it. I love Ace. Yes.
The amazing thing about this group is that everybody has the same idea collectively. Somehow by fate, we came together. Everybody wanted to do a theatrical rock show. Ace says, I think theatrics as important as the music. But here's what I love, because as on social media earlier, and while we were doing this episode, I went to find it. Somebody had posted up a meme
of
Ace.
I saw it. Oh, dude, I cannot believe that. I saw it
today.
I'm glad
here's
you brought
the
it up
quote.
right. I know. Go ahead.
For me, it's about the music, and it's always been. Maybe for some people, it's more about money.
I love
Dude,
it. Perfect timing.
He's quoting that it's about theatrics as important. No one's putting words in his mouth. He said it.
That's right.
So it's nonsense, when he talks like that. And then he waves to the crowd for some reason. I don't know what the fuck that was. Hey, Curly.
How you doing, Phil? I remember you. Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, Fatty, save me a candy bar when you're done. The next kid, I think his name is Greg, who this little shit looks like he's pissed off. He's got his fucking lips. He's like, yeah. Why did Peter Criss quit the band?
Yeah, why do you guys suck? You bunch of fuckers.
Look like a sad little young.
So this is my favorite part of the entire fucking episode. Go ahead. I mean, what are we doing?
Peter just got remarried to a beautiful wife whose name is Debbie. She's gorgeous. You ever seen the Coppertown Tan Girl? Big poster? That's his wife.
Dude, these kids are looking at fucking comic books in like their dad's fucking penthouse if they're lucky.
Yeah, been in a cockpit before?
Yeah.
Ever seen a grown man naked?
You like movies with gladiators?
Joey? Ever been in a Turkish prison?
like Gene is like, oh yeah, gorgeous Coppertone model of those posters. You ever see it? Yeah. Fucking George Jefferson's like, fuck yeah, I have.
My dry cleaning store in the back. We got a poster of her.
But first of all, not only is Gene's answer like just fucking stupid with the Coppertone poster thing. So and you notice how that was it. No one else chimed in. So Peter Criss quit the band because he got married.
Yeah. And then that's basically what they're saying is, and then, I think, someone off camera goes, how old are these kids? Yeah, that one?
Yes. But you're right. And that kid that asked that question, it looked like somebody shit in his hat. He did not look happy.
Yeah, why did Peter Criss quit the band?
Yeah. You got the stupid fox in now.
It was angry Gary Cap's best friend. I don't know. And then some chick named Laura, a poor girl. How long does it take to put on your makeup? Paul says, usually takes about an hour, but if we had to, we could do it in a half an hour. Then Ace chimes in. That's if the plane is late.
And Gene goes, hey, young girl, how long does it take to put on your makeup?
And then the host welcomes Eric again and says that this is Kiss. And then the band gets up. Paul gets up first and starts shaking hands of the members, and the episode is done.
So interesting. Nobody like the whole point of this on paper was to introduce Eric. Mm-hmm. Nothing. All it said was, how do you feel? It's like, oh, this is great. Like we talked about earlier. No questions about like, what do you think of Peter Criss? What do you bring to the band? What were you doing before Kiss? What do you like? Nothing.
Yeah. And that's just the thing. 2 of the 4 questions there were about Peter. And the one earlier was, who's your favorite member? Peter.
Right.
So that didn't go as well as they thought it did. It's just so cringy and embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them.
Me too. I mean, it's a great, I mean, if you're one of those kids, it's a great moment. I mean, like when they came out, they were throwing guitar picks and I mean, it's a great moment, but it minimizes and really reduces Kiss down to like the absolute lowest possible thing. Like you said, it turned them into the Wiggles it turned them into a prop, a circus act, which we know that that's what they were considered at that time. Me and you, we were 7 years old that time, so we don't know. If we were in that crowd, we would have been losing our minds with excitement. But when you step back, you're like, God damn, but then there's another piece of me, the Kiss tower in me is like, holy shit, that was 45 years ago. Look at where they were. And then just look at what they did a few months ago in New York City, 45 years later. It's kind of, if you told me in 1980 that we were going to get 45 more years of Kiss, I would have said that you're friggin' insane, but they pulled it off.
Somehow. Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
but like everything in Kiss, you'd rather have something than not have it. But it's just it's a nice snapshot of how embarrassing that is. Like they fucking sunk to that level. Like, yeah, let's go on fucking kids are people too for like 20 minutes and 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's really bad. And I thought it was interesting too. And I'm guessing because it was a kid show that the logistics didn't allow for it, but they didn't perform. They were in all their gear. They were all their makeup, costumes, gear, boots, you name it, everything. No performance, which I kind of thought was interesting.
But they're the ones that are always bitching about it in the documentaries. We became a kid show. People were showing up. We used to be dangerous. Dude, you went on a kid show purposely.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
You did all these things purposely to attract that audience. And then you got pissed when your audience became that. That's not anyone's fault but yours.
But this is exactly kind of what Mike H's comment at the beginning of the episode was, is like the revisionist history. It's like, yeah, now when you're on a documentary, you say you became a a kiddie band. Yeah, but you were on a show with the word kids in the title. Like you did that. Now, I'm sure your promoters and your handlers and your managers said, hey, look, guys, nobody wants to fucking touch you with a 10-foot pole, but this kid show is pretty popular. Maybe go on there and do it and get some eyes on you because no one cares about you anymore. Maybe they did that. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they could have thought of something else more, but that's what they wanted. Dude, when you have Hanna-Barbera do your fucking movie, what do you expect?
Exactly.
So to each their own. Now, Tom, what we normally do in a situation like this is we go and we actually rank this shit.
Yep.
Okay, so let's pull up what we've watched so far.
Okay.
And so this is on the TV appearances rank, Tom.
Yep.
And so far we've done in chronological order, not as we did them, but as they came out. ABC in Concert, Michael Douglas Show, Paul Lynde Halloween Special, Don Kirshner's Rock Concert, Land of Hype and Glory, Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show, Kiss on Fridays, MTV Kiss Unmasked, Paul and Gene on Oprah, Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular, Kiss on Family Guy, very special Family Guy freaking Christmas, and then Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. Want to tell everybody how you rank these?
Last place right now, I have the Mad TV Halloween Spooktacular. 12, I have the Macy's Day Parade. 11 is Family Guy. 10 is Gene and Ace on the Don Lane Show. I almost said Don Lemon Show. Good God. So let me tell you, what are you guys doing here? Number 9, Paul and Gene on Oprah. 8 is Tom Snyder. 7 is MTV Unmasking. 6 is Paul Lynde Halloween. 5 is Mike Douglas. 4 is Don Kirshner. 3 is Land of Hype and Glory. 2 is Fridays. And 1 is ABC in Concert. I know that this is like a monumental, quote unquote, appearance. You know, it is Eric Carr to the world. But it's cringy. But then it balances itself off between the cringe and the importance of Eric Carr. I don't know how entertaining it is, more than just kind of like you said. But I'm going to try to lean a little bit more on the Eric Carr aspect of it, which was nice. So it's still going to be low for me. I'm putting it at 12. I'm putting it above the Thanksgiving debacle and that Mad TV debacle.
Okay.
Yep.
Tom, for me, I have the Macy's Day Parade as last, Kiss Mad TV Halloween Spectacular, then Paul and Gene on Oprah, Gene and Ace on Don Lane, Land of Hype and Glory. Number 8 for me is Kiss on Tomorrow with Tom Snyder, 7 Kiss MTV Kiss Unmasking, Kiss on Family Guy, 6 Kiss on Fridays, 5 4 ABC in Concert, Paul and Lynde Halloween Special, Mike Douglas is 2, and Don Kirshner's Rock Concert at 1. I am putting this one. I'm putting this one. Jesus. I'm putting this one 11.
11. Okay.
Okay. Underneath Gene and Ace on Don Lane's show. I found that one to be fun because Ace is talking. It's a different dynamic. It's Gene and Ace.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
The only reason this one isn't just above Macy's Day, which is definitely the worst, is because, as you said, the historical aspect of Eric Carr introduction. So I don't want to tarnish Eric that bad and punish him too much with that. But because everyone kind of refers to it as, oh, yeah, they introduced Eric. And I don't want to be like, oh, they introduced Eric. That's dead last. Like, no, it was just fucking brutal.
Yep.
So that's where I have that. Tom, what we do next is we go to question of the week.
All right. Question of the week comes from longtime fan and supporter Josh Brown. This is a good one here. If Paul does a tour of Soul Station, does he do the Robert Plant treatment to some Kiss songs and bring them to Soul Station? Will he bring out a rewritten version of Lick It Up or Love Gun or something like that? Or is it strictly Soul Station?
I don't think Paul wants to have anything to do with Kiss and Soul Station. This is where he thinks he's going to get his credibility. For fuck's sake, Steve Vai was bragging about how great this thing is. He ain't going to fucking want to tarnish it. Paul's a soul singer now. He doesn't want to bring Lick It Up into the middle of that. No, he won't do anything like that. Not in my opinion.
I am nodding my head vigorously in agreement with Zeus because that was my exact answer. Absolutely not, Josh. As much as we would love to see kind of like some kind of reworked version of something, he doesn't want to have shit to do with Kiss. He is Paul Stanley, and that is Soul Station, and he is a respected artist now performing classic soul music. That's it. Great question, though. I mean, it's one of those things that where we wish we would have it because that would be cool, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. But great question, though. Thanks, Josh.
All right, Tom, where can people find us?
Our website is always the place to be. ShoutItOutLoudcast.com. That's where you can find all of our episodes, all the Shout Out Loudcast episodes, album review crew. We just dropped an awesome one with Chris Jericho talking about Vision Quest soundtrack. Tons of fun there. Zeppelin Chronicles and our Dorm Damage. Everything's there. And you can also find links to all of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, TikTok. Everything's there. And you can also find links to our Amazon shopping page, our Shout It Out Loudcast merch, our Patreon links. You can comment directly on our website on specific episodes. Check out all of our rankings. Check out links to all of our friends and all of our amazing guests that we've had on. You can check out, see some cool pictures of our video conferencing during our recordings with them. A lot of fun there. And of course, you can also send us messages, as I mentioned, directly through the website. But the best way to do that is to send us an email at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. If you want your question of the week to be read, like we just did with Josh, please do that. We read one every week. And then at the end of the year, we usually do a mailbag. So please send us questions. That's the email address. We read every single email that you send to us. We can't get to all of them during the show because we don't want 4 hours of feedback. But please know that when you email us, we absolutely read it. So please continue to do that. And of course, we always like to say that we are a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, people can DM us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on Threads, TikTok. Tom has created our Spotify playlist. So make sure you check that out. And if you want to look at our playlist, you have to go to our profile, not our podcast page, Shout It Out Loudcast. And you'll see all the playlist that Tom has created for all you guys out there. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is grown tremendously. So thank you for that. We really appreciate that. And in addition to that, you can give us one of those 5-star child reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, wherever. And we actually got one we're going to read today, Tom. And this one is from The Heavy Side. I don't know if it's related to heavy mail, but The Heavy Side writes, "You wanted the best Kiss podcast. You got it. 5 stars. Tom and Zeus are relatable to the listener. They are very entertaining, funny, and knowledgeable. If you're a Kiss diehard or a casual fan or a fan like myself that stepped away from Kiss in 2009, there's something here for you. This podcast is responsible for reigniting my love for the classic era, the Kulick era, and the records that were released during that time. The playful jabs at the Ace cult are the best, and the Ace impressions are hysterical. I especially enjoy the variety of guests that they manage to get. I look forward to these news episodes. Peace out, Girl Scout. Well, Heaviside, thank you so much. We appreciate that. It means a lot to us. And if you could actually do one for us out there, everybody, we'd appreciate it. And we'll give you a shout out like we just did to the Heaviside. So please go on Apple Podcasts and give us one of those 5-star reviews. It's a big help to us. Tom, in addition to that, we always want to reiterate the website, shoutitoutloudcast.com, shoutitoutloudcast.com. You can get all your merch. Our Amazon store is there. We've got all our rankings. We're going to have the Carnival Souls ranking up there. The new ARC just dropped. Plenty of stuff there for you guys to check out and review and make comments, because it's a lot of fun when you see your comments, because they stay on the page. They don't evaporate like they do on social media, where 2 months ago you don't remember what someone said, but here on the website, comments remain. So thank you for that, guys. And we always like to end with famous last words. Tom, do you have any?
I'd like to say a word or two about the women we all seem to know. They're all around us. They're everywhere. You meet them this place and then meet them there. Poetry. Lyrical genius right there.
And if you leave me, don't say goodbye, because you're all I need to get by.
Oh, God. How sweet.
You're all that I want. You're all that I need. You love that song. Well, I do. Sorry.
It's okay.
Tom, George Jefferson, the Pouty Kid, and the rest of you guys out there, Loudcasters, Kiss Army, thank you.
Guys, you're the best. Loudcasters, Patreon, everybody who listens, shiny white teeth, kids are people too, host guy, punk kids. You guys are all great. Zeus is always my friend. Thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide kiss cards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?